Good morning. We have another morning song and going to start our day with a song and an encouragement I read in Deuteronomy 7 and 8 and in Psalm 69 this morning. And in Deuteronomy 7, Moses reminds the Israelites about who God is. And he says to them, "The Lord had set his heart on you and chose you, not because you were more numerous than all peoples, for you were the fewest of all peoples, but because the Lord loved you and kept the oath he swore to your fathers." And then he goes on to say, "Know that the Lord your God is God, the faithful God, who keeps his gracious covenant loyalty for 1,000 generations with those who love him and keep his commands." Moses was reminding the Israelites, God was reminding the Israelites that he chose them because he chose them. He loved them because they loved them. He was loyal to them because he was loyal to them. In other words, it's because of God's character that he's faithful and loving and gracious toward us. In Psalms, I read something similar. David was going through a hard time in Psalm 69. You can read about it for yourself. He says, "Save me, God, for the water has risen to my neck. I've sunk in deep mud. There's no footing. I'm in deep water. A flood sweeps over me." He says, "I'm weary from my crying. My throat is parched. My eyes fail looking for God." Later on, he says, "God, you know my foolish and my guilty acts are not hidden from you." And he talks about his trials. He talks about his enemies. He talks about those against me, his own sin, other people's sin against him. And then in verse 13, he says this, "But as for me, Lord, my prayer to you is for a time of favor. In your abundant, faithful love, God, answer me with your sure salvation." And then a few more problems. "Rescue me, I'm in the mud, the flood waters." And then verse 16, Answer me, Lord, for your faithful love is good, in keeping with your abundant compassion. Turn to me." And he says, "Come near to me and redeem me and ransom me because of my enemies." And I love in both of those passages how Moses and David reminds God's people to turn their attention and their remembrances and their recollections to who God is, his character. He is good, he's loyal, he's kind, he's gracious, he's merciful, he's compassionate, and his love, it never fails us. This morning we're going to sing "Your Love Never Fails," and we want to remind ourselves of who God is, a God whose love that never fails. Nothing can separate, even if I run away. Your love never fails. No, I still make mistakes, but you have new mercies for me every day. Your love never fails. You stay the same through the ages. Your love never changes. There may be pain in the night, but joy comes in the morning. And when the oceans rage, I don't have to be afraid, because I know that you love me. Your love never fails. The wind is strong and the water's deep. I'm not alone here in these open seas. Your love never fails. The chasm is far too wide. I never thought I'd reach the other side. Your love never fails. Stay the same, God. You stay the same through the ages. Your thank you for singing with us this morning and reminding our hearts that we serve a God who never fails in his love for us. His character never changes. He's always gracious and compassionate to us, no matter the circumstances. We love you guys. Have a great day.
Have a good day.